Hey guys, welcome to today's flip video all about exploding a moment in time. So from today you'll understand what that means and how to achieve that in your writing. So what is exploding a moment? Well, it's taking a second that happens in real life, so a single moment, and expanding it as much as you can to give as much detail as you can for your reader to imagine themselves being there, to imagine every little feeling, to be able to see every little thing that you would have seen. All right, you've probably had events happen in your life that might have happened in a split second, but to you, it was almost like they happened in slow motion. One example for me was I always remember my first car accident. Okay, I was driving along and a guy ran a stop sign, and it happened like that. It happened in a split second, but to me, it was like it was in slow motion. I remember watching his wheels roll over the stop line. I remember the car hitting the side of mine and that feeling of it just shifting to one side. I remember watching as the bonnet crumpled. I remember watching all of the red paint flecks coming off the bonnet as well. I remember watching the crack as if it was just creeping up my windscreen. So even though it happened in a single moment, I remember every little bit and every little detail that when I remember it, I imagine myself being there. So that's what we're trying to achieve with our writing. It's slowing time down for our reader to imagine it in there. So let's look at an example. Here's one here, something that you might have all been familiar with. I kicked the ball in the back of the net. Time slowed down. Then we won. How long did that take to read? 1, 2 seconds? So your reader only imagines that moment for the same amount of time that they read it. Here's this example here. A lot more writing, but it's still the same moment in time. So let's read it through, and you see if you can imagine yourself there. I placed the ball softly onto the spot, making sure it would sit perfectly to get my foot just underneath it. I'd practiced this 1,000,000 times. Top right, I thought to myself. Top right is where it needs to go. I could feel my heart thumping inside my chest and my lungs straining to get my air. I slowly crept backwards to take my position, waiting for the ref to blow his whistle. The stands were eerily quiet as everyone held their breath. The whistle blew. I watched as the goalie bent slowly at the knees, ready to pounce. I took a step, then another, gaining pace as I stretched out. My foot struck the ball perfectly, sending it soaring into the air. It started to bend in mid-air as if being pushed by a magical hand. The goalie read it perfectly and dived with outstretched arms towards the corner. For a second I doubted my decision and wished I had chosen another spot. It's not going to make it. The ball grazes the fingertips of the goalie but manages to keep pushing past him. It hammers into the back of the net, sending the crowd into an eruption of noise. I finally managed to take a breath. We had won. So again, that took me about 30 seconds to a minute to read. So that whole time your reader is imagining that moment in time. So this week, your writing goal is to expand a moment in time. Take a single moment, a single event from your story, and make it as detailed as possible. Expand every little thing about it for your reader to imagine it. Good luck.